welcome back to The Art of FA Checky on FA TV, and thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. It is just about time for Christmas, and I gotta tell you, it has been a crazy time here. Yes, especially with all these children. And Callie always hears me, and she runs. She's like, I gotta be in the video too. I just got bangs, and I'm cute. Mm-hmm. So,
I don't like them, they look ugly.
No, you look cute. Don't say that.
I like to like them away.
And we got another little booger down there somewhere. Where's that other little booger? Oh, there he is. The producer. Nuh-uh, don't do that. I don't like it when you do that. Okay? So, we have another episode. This is episode 30. We're going to do a little painting today. I want to remind you all, like, subscribe. 50% of all the monetization will go to charities, the arts, the needy, the homeless, endangered species, all kinds of good causes. So, this is a channel really where I want to give back. Half of it, in fact, because my goal is really to help people and to offer my art up to the world and to show you what I'm all about. So, if you are, not too busy, not doing a whole lot, you like art, you like watching YouTube, well, you found the right channel. This is kind of a little bit of a variety show, variety in the sense of art, life, my philosophies, my thoughts, and just to make it a long story short in this little intro, we need you as much as I think you might need me. Probably not. No, seriously, we thank you for watching. Happy holidays. Thank you again for tuning in. And to everybody out there who's just subscribed, again, thank you. Make sure you comment, give us feedback, anything you want to see, anything you think about the videos, please. Do share what your thoughts are on the comments, and if you are a creator, I'm happy to collaborate. I'm happy to also do the same for you. I know there's a lot of creators out there that are also on YouTube and love connecting with y'all. So we're getting back into this fantasy piece that we've been working on for quite some time, and that's just been part of the series. We're going to get back into this whole piece, working on this this closer building. We're going to get you a closer look up, just switching the camera angle, and we're going to light the Bob Ross candle. So again, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy this episode 30. All right, so as we do every episode, we do light the Bob Ross candle to honor a man who has inspired many people to paint, and while I may not want to paint just like him, I want to do my own thing. He's a great inspiration. I was going to let my son, the eldest...
I don't know what to...
Can you think you can light that? Do you think you could do it, except without lighting my head? Whoops. You want me to do it?
I got it. Let me put down my head.
Yeah, put that down. Use both hands. Tilt the candle this way. Okay. Walk ahead, building, just sing, going to the Bob Ross King. All right. So here we go.
We did it.
We did.
I did not burn my fingers.
And he didn't burn himself, and you can't say I'm guilty of endangering my child.
Because I already knew how to light one.
Yes, I know. So we light the Bob Ross candle every episode.
I need help finding a name for him.
We need a comment with a name for Matthew's new husky stuffed animal. Kind of spoiled the early Christmas present that he was sitting around, and he's like, oh, well, I'll just wait till Christmas. But then he got impatient, wants to play with it.
I need help naming it, though.
I think you should name him Jonathan Livingston Siegel.
You wanted me to name him Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie, but I'm thinking Jonathan Livingston Siegel.
Or Charlie Brown.
Leave your comment what Matthew should name his husky stuffed animal.
We watched Charlie Brown.
Yeah, we watched Charlie Brown Christmas special. The real meaning of Christmas. Okay?
His name?
It is the toys. It is the commercialism. And it is everything that you buy. Because without that, everybody would be so angry and miserable on Christmas Day. Is that right, Matthew?
No, because I
No.
like Christmas because I get to spend time with you,
Yes.
Mommy, Austin.
To me, Christmas is a very holy day, of course. Very holy day. But it also is about family, togetherness, love, peace, joy, goodwill towards men. So happy holidays, y'all. Let's get into a little painting, yo.
Yeah.
So as you can see here, we worked our way just with some drawing. This is a long or wide canvas. It's panoramic. This is so, therefore, it's a panoramic painting with a focal point here in the middle. This is where the eye is going to be drawn from the center out. The water's not done. The background's mostly done on the left, okay? Midground is mostly done on the left. So we're going to be focusing in on this building here, which is one of the closer ones, more elaborate buildings. And what we did, we just block it in with some, it's like a paint marker. It's not really a Sharpie. I'll have to show you what they are. This is the brand, kind of brand. I'm not going to show you exactly the brand, but you'll see on here one of these markers for copyright reasons or whatever, trademark. I'm not going to show you exactly what the brand is up close, but it is a paint marker. And so we blocked in the building with that, and that's going to be the first step. Some people, if you want to do a painting without even blocking in or drawing it, this definitely becomes a lot more elaborate as you want to make it more detailed. If you want to go less detailed, you may not even need to block it in with markers or even draw it in per se. You can just paint. So this is sort of the whole backdrop with the mountains in the background. You can kind of see how the sun is shining every which way. As you do the far background buildings here, you need the fade, you need the blur, not too much detail. And as you see, as you come closer here, these buildings become more detailed, okay? The statues, as you see there, they get less detailed as you go further away. I'm trying to get this exactly lined up with the canvas, just so you can get a good idea. Okay, that's what we've been working on. And it's angled, just so you can get a good look right there, so that we're not disparaging the work with bad camera work. Okay, so... Okay, everybody, now we're back. We're focusing in on this area here. Got the lighting right, got the camera angle right. You can kind of see where I'll be painting. Large, elaborate building. It's going to take some time to finish it. The closer up the building, the more work there is to do. Even though some of these little buildings, some of them took me like 30 minutes just to get the balance right on it. Because mid-ground can be a little tough, okay? And here... it can be tough too, depending on what part working on. Laying in base color is not all that hard, but these are sort of my weapons. Okay, lots of small brushes, even the little flat head like this for painting walls. Okay, and you want to try to keep your brushes well kept. These little tubes they put at the end, important to keep them the way they are. So I guess the way I'm going to start out here is there's these little spires back here. I'm going to be covering up some background. I have to be pretty careful, but it's going to actually push this piece like boom. It's just going to push it out once we paint it in, and it pushes all that back. It's a magical process, and I think you'll really enjoy it. I'm just going to sit back, paint, leave your comments on anything, any questions, and just enjoy. So got one of my thin brushes here that was out earlier, and just some carbon black, real dark black paint, and we'll just work on those. And next few episodes we'll finish up this building. Don't forget the morning sessions with FA and Coffee Talk, and I hope you enjoy my little videos of me and my family in between, which are just kind of there for just the spice of life, variety. I think that every station should have. So, you know, my life is more than just my art. I have a family, kids. They're really important to me. And they're a big part of my inspiration is my family. Because I want to leave a lasting legacy for them and the world, of course. That's, I think, one of the good reasons out there to be an artist, other than just to express oneself. But as artists oftentimes talk, we discuss the aspects of legacies and what we leave behind. Writers as well, you know, all kinds of creators of various kinds. I think this is going to have a bit of a bulbous thing to it. And we're going to work this spade-like shape on these I guess little mini spires that they are. Just taking our time, and it's not going to see a whole lot of painting, but I think this is really going to push this back some in a good way. Working on symmetry, proportion, because the one up here I think is going to be slightly bigger. And I might be quiet for just a minute here because sometimes I have to hold my breath and not laugh. You know, they say you laugh when you feel nervous. I always get nervous when I'm on camera, I have to admit. And once again, you start to wrap yourself up into the painting. You stop talking or thinking about anything. And I think that's one of the real joys and beauties of painting, is when you're just totally in that zone of escape. And wow, what an escape. This is a different world I'm in, even, that I'm thinking about. I'm playing out what this world is in my head. And there are good escapes and there's bad escapes. Drug, alcohol. Well, you know, anything in moderation, some may argue it's okay. Sometimes they start to become unhealthy escapes. And painting, on the other hand, offers something so much more. So much more. And what is that so much more, you may ask, that it offers? Well, never quite known a feeling other than family and enjoying my life as a productive, creative member of the human race, I suppose. No more so in terms of creation. I guess I've done a few things. Wrote a couple kids' books. I painted lots of paintings, and I created some children. No, with my wife, of course. So I had a lot of help in that. Most of the work was her. But as a man, member of the human race, the only thing I can create all by myself is painting. Only thing I can create on my own. Is a painting. Well, other things too. Food, I suppose. Everybody could eat that. Food is an amazing art form too. Speaking of creation, one art form that involves, I guess, every single sense of the body, so to speak, of the mind, is food. Because food, you could look at it, make it look pretty, garnish it however. Food, smell it, taste it, feel it on your tongue, in your mouth. Which ones am I missing? I said, look, you can hear it sizzling, right? Hear it sizzle. Hear it pop. And there's a so-called mental experience of pleasure eating it. The sense of pleasure. The sense of delight. That perhaps something like painting cannot sustain your life, but food can. You know, it's something to think about. What is the type of food that they eat in this village? Not village, city. I'll think about that for a second. Okay, so as I was talking about, what kind of food would they eat in this place? I don't know. We're gonna about almost done here, finished up with this video, folks. It's close to needing to tend to children around the holidays, spend time with your families. As much as I love painting and editing all weekend long, that ain't gonna happen. Plus, Daddy's got duties around the house. Not those type of duties, though. Last points here. When you're doing the shadowed sides of a building, this is already gray, of course, and you're going to want to cover up as much of your black lines even as possible and then fill them back in if it should be more black. You can see here where I'm filling in this little side or facade, a tiny little ledge or whatever you want to call it. Just using some light Naples yellow, little raw umber in there. Makes kind of a nice color in there. Raw umber is almost like a gold. I think of it as a brownish gold, and you can see that gold dome behind it. And, you know, it works well here with this building, which is going to be much more on the Naples yellow, brown, tan side once you get to the lit up end of it. So you can see here how I have this ledge right here, much darker. Okay. You can even draw in a little bit more black to differentiate its.
Dad, Matthew said I can have the.
Oh, good.
Slime.
Okay.
And I wanted to put some glitter in.
Sure.
Because they left that thing out
Okay,
there. And I noticed
sweetie.
I could put something in
Very
the
good.
pink slime because it's my slime.
Okay.
It's mine.
Okay.
So I can't open it. I tried to open it.
Got to open some glitter for my daughter. And he
What?
gave you the glitter.
No, but I just saw
I'm not sure why it's not coming off. In about a few minutes, I'll open it for you, and we'll do it, okay? I got to figure that out. I might need a knife to open it, okay? So on this side here where the sun hits, you're going to see me paint it. And I'm going to bring a little bit of that right there. I'm going to wipe my brush off because I got a little bit too much paint on it. And you're going to see the illumination here where the sun hits. And whatever corrections I have to make sure it's straight lines in the vector or the perspective that we're working on. Okay? So you're going to see that there come in a little bit. And just as a little rule of thumb, buildings are not super clean all the time on the outside. You kind of want to, you know, show how these things get their soot from maybe the air. These people probably burn fire to cook their food. Speaking of the food they eat, I think they eat a lot of healthy food here. They do not eat a lot of junk food. They grow a lot of fruits and vegetables in the forest regions and the agricultural regions beyond those forests back there, and yeah, they eat healthy. It's my city. I get to choose. I get to choose what I think. It's my little world. As Bob Ross would say, you do whatever the hell you want in your little world. Oh, he didn't use that word per se, but he used good words. He's a good man. Hardly a heart out there like that man. And then when you're working on the black spire here, this is a black thing. Use very light reflections on there. Kind of work this little stone piece here a little bit more to where it's, I think, balanced. And then below, you'll see that you have another ledge there you have to focus on. You might want to go just a slight bit lighter, okay? And then we'll call it good for today. So this piece, or a ledge here, okay, you might want to just give it a little bit more light, okay? It's hitting the light a little differently. And cover up your black line as much as you can there because we don't need all that black in there anymore. It's part of the drawing. The sketch is also blocked in with a little bit, like I said, the black marker paint. And makes it a lot easier to cover up your pencil lines when you need that contrast to see what you're doing. Light and values and how you're viewing things is so important. So that kind of gives you an idea of these ledge pieces there. Like I said, you might want to go into your darker color right here where this ledge meets the bottom. Rather, of the slabs of stone, however they constructed this. It meets the roof top there. And a couple pointers when you're doing stone buildings, and eventually on the stone I'm going to have to do quite a bit of it. For some reason, little algae and green things grow on them. You get hail marks when they get hit by weather. The weathering of the stones, of the masonry, and so on, and that part adds partly to the realism, I would say, of the piece, and it lends to its credibility for what you're trying to do. So, like I said, use your imagination to some extent to figure out how these things were weathered over time. But in the end, it's however you feel like you need to create your vision. You know, it's somewhat subjective. But with architectural pieces, what I love about it, in a sense, is also this aspect of a little bit of objectivity because it's geometric. And geometry is itself a highly objective thing. So that's what you're going to see for today. And that's okay because these things go slow. So the lesson here when you're working your piece is how you're paying attention to your perspective and your coloration. Detail, highly detailed as we get in here. We have a lot more work to go on here. Not a big deal, but we'll get it done. Okay, y'all, we are done with this piece. I just put up a picture before we did the closing to this. Where, who's this guy here?
His name is Alfredo.
Yeah, Alfredo is what Matthew named him. So we're all done. Please like, please subscribe, please share.
And I did find a name. His new name is Blaze, but I still might take a name from the comments.
Okay, so put your comment on there if you have a better name for his little stuffed animal. Again, thank you for watching. Last minute reminder, subscribe, 50% of all proceeds. Homeless is a big one, especially around the holidays for needy children. Lots of good causes that we have. And this, I don't want this to fall off my head. Watch my episode where, if you're into Star Wars, actually this is one of the big things coming out right now. I sketch Baby Yoda from The Mandalorian.
Yes, he's making me a painting.
Yeah, I'll eventually paint Baby Yoda, but there's watch my Baby Yoda sketch episode. Yeah, sketch. It was not so much how to. I just sketch it. So I'll post that in the card so you can watch it. But again, thank you for watching. Happy holidays. Be the artist you were born to be. Be the person you were born to be. Follow your dreams, your hopes, your aspirations. Because if you don't do it, you might look back as an old man and be like, why didn't I do that when I was younger? And that's why I started painting again when I was about 38. So
wait, you've been painting for
39, and maybe 39. It doesn't matter. I was older, and I look back. I haven't painted since I was like 15, and I'm like, it's been 20 some years, and I got to start doing this again.
You could have been one of the top artists in the world, but you haven't.
No, he flatters me. He flatters me.
What does that mean?
That would be great. I would love to be that because if I were, I'd be able to give back so much to the world. And that's one of the things we want to do. Happy holidays,
And
Merry
25%
Christmas.
is going to me.
Yeah, so I don't really make much on this at all.
No.
So thank you all again for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.